Tonight, on the February 7th edition of Newswatch 18, police investigate a woman found dead in her home last week. We have the details coming up.
Origami classes are well underway at the MU. Stay tuned to find out how to get involved.
And one Iowa State professor has found 6 tricks for turning back the clock. All this and more tonight on Newswatch 18. Good evening, and welcome to the February 7th edition of Newswatch 18. I'm David Geiger.
And I'm Jane Morrison.
The death of a Boone woman remains under investigation by Boone Police Department. A Boone woman was found dead in response to a 911 call last week, on Sunday, January 29th. The Boone Police Department transported 34-year-old Emily Fazzino to the Boone County Hospital. Fazzino, who was unresponsive, was pronounced dead at the hospital. The autopsy was conducted last Monday, and the results are pending for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Soldering, which is the joining of two metals, has been around by some estimates of nearly 5,000 years. But as Justin Houston and Jonathan Harris recently discovered, an Ames Lab researcher has reinvented the process.
In the Metals Development Building of ISU, a team of Ames Lab researchers developed a new solder that would be used across the world. Researcher Ivor Anderson helped patent the new technology used in our everyday communications.
Actually, most everybody is carrying one right now, a cell phone. Right now we can confidently state that essentially every cell phone made today is assembled with lead-free solder. And that's billions of cell phones around the world.
It was in these labs that Anderson and his team developed a new solder that we use still in our technology today.
The new solder offers greater lifespan for devices and more efficient manufacturing compared to the older solder methods that would often fail. Joel Harenga, part of the Ames Lab, is looking forward to the solder's future uses.
Yeah, it's exciting to see a research project seeing such widespread usage, and hopefully it will go into many more products than it's being seen in now, and that's very exciting. Yeah.
T-shirt, the solder paste is white.
So the next time you play Angry Birds, remember you are holding something developed at ISU.
For Iowa State News, this has been Jonathan Harris with Justin Houston.
The Ames Lab researchers are hoping to see the new lead-free soldering used beyond commercial use.
The verdict is in for DeJoy Sawyers, who killed a man last spring in a hit-and-run. 19-year-old Sawyers from Waterloo was allegedly smoking marijuana before he stole a Jeep Grand Cherokee and drove nearly 90 miles per hour down 8th Street in Altoona. At the intersection of 1st and 8th, Sawyers crashed into a vehicle of Chad Wells. Wells, who was 36 years old, died at the scene as Sawyers ran off and tried to steal another vehicle. Sawyers was charged with vehicular homicide and first-degree theft and sentenced to maximum of 35 years in prison.
If you've ever wanted to learn how to make origami, you might want to drop by the Workspace in the Memorial Union. The Workspace is offering beginner-level origami lessons every Monday evening from 6:30 to 8:30 for the next 3 weeks. You will learn how to fold some traditional designs such as flowers, butterflies, and frogs, as well as geometric designs like cubes and boxes. The cost for the classes is $27 for students. For more information, visit the Workspace in the east basement of the Memorial Union.
Iowa State Directors of Gerontology has discovered 6 factors that can help you lead a longer and better life. Peter Martin's article was published online in the Journal of Aging Research. According to Martin, the 6 behavioral factors of longevity are environmental support, individual characteristics, behavioral skills, good nutrition, and healthy behaviors, staying healthy, and lastly, good mental health. Martin has also had 3 related studies published, including studies on octogenarians and centenarians, co-authored by ISU professor Jennifer Margaret. So, Allison, I hear it was an exciting weekend in the Cyclone sports.
You've heard right, David. I will have all of your Cyclone and national sports updates from this weekend coming up right after the break. Stay tuned. You're watching Newswatch 18. Welcome back to Newswatch 18. I'm Allison Merkley with your Cyclone Sports Update. The Cyclones men's basketball team looks to continue rewriting its own history books as the team travels to Oklahoma State for a 7 o'clock game this evening. The Cyclone, which have already put together a better record overall with 4 more Big 12 victories than they did throughout all of last season. ISU has not beaten the Cowboys in Stillwater, Oklahoma since March 2, 1988, totaling 16 consecutive losses. Until beating Oklahoma on Saturday, February 4th, Iowa State has not emerged victorious in the state of Oklahoma in 18 consecutive games. Iowa State fell to a loss tonight against the Cowboys 67-69. You could win a chance to be the Iowa State men's or women's basketball coach for a day this season. The awards are part of an online auction on Cyclones.com that began Monday, February 6th at noon and will end on Monday, February 13th at 4 p.m. The bidders that win one of the Coach for the Day awards will be given the opportunity to attend the pregame, shoot around 2 tickets, and allowed to attend the postgame press conference with a guest. The men's Coach for a Day will be when the Cyclones take on Oklahoma on February 18th. The women's will be against Kansas on February 15th and against Oklahoma on February 18th. Soccer season is getting ready at Iowa State ladies. Cyclone finalized their 9-game spring 2012 season on Monday. After beginning the season on the road at Missouri on February 19th, the Cyclones returned to Ames to host 6 consecutive games. The season ends with Iowa State traveling to Iowa City for the Big 12 Challenge on April 15th. The team finished the 2011 season with its most wins since 2005 with a record of 9-9-1. In national news, veteran running back Ricky Williams plans to retire. According to ESPN NFL Insider, this is the second time in Williams' career that he has announced retirement. In 2004, he announced his retirement when he was suspended 4 games for violating the league's drug policy before returning to play for the Miami Dolphins in 2005. The former Heisman Trophy winner rushed for 444 yards on 108 attempts while attempting the Baltimore Ravens reach the AFC Championship game this season. That's all I have for sports. Now let's check into Sam at the weather desk.
Thanks, Stacy. Well, I've got kind of an interesting week coming up. Not as exciting as last week potentially was, but still something to stay tuned for. This is Newswatch 18. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Sam Schreier doing your Iowa weather. Couldn't quite see myself in the TV out there. But let's go ahead and move on and get into this next segment of Iowa weather. So our current conditions right now, 25 degrees in Ames. We've got cloudy skies, nice cloud deck sitting over the state. That's going to start to diminish off, however, as we move into into tomorrow's day, however. Now let's take a look at our current conditions. 24 up in Storm Lake, 21 in Calindra, kind of these mid-20s all over the state, colder as we go north and east just a little bit, and that's going to continue on through the rest of the league. Let's take a look at this air mass that's kind of pouring out in here. Now this is kind of settled in from Canada, nice 20 degrees as we kind of saw all over the state with just a little pocket of this 30-degree air mass sitting there over in southwestern Iowa. Now let's go and take a look at our forecast for tonight. Now we're going to be looking at 13 degrees. As that cloud deck kind of moves off Iowa, we're going to get kind of that blanket as how clouds affect. It's going to leave. All that radiation is going to come up from the earth, and that's why our temperatures are going to decrease off a little more to 13. We're going to have a northwest wind, at 7 to 10 miles per hour. Now let's go ahead and take a look at tomorrow's forecast. Mostly sunny. It's actually, it's not going to be too bad of a day tomorrow. It's a little cold, 28, with a northwest wind 7 to 9 miles per hour. Taking a look at our extended forecast, going into tomorrow, that's the day planner, 14 degrees in the morning, and then our extended outlook, 28 on Wednesday, 23 on Friday, mostly sunny skies the rest of the week, and as we head into the weekend, 22 Saturday, and Sunday is 31 degrees. That's off weather. Now back to the desk.
ISU Theater has been practicing for the start of its new performance. ISU TV reporters Matt Van Winkle and Julie Farrell have the story.
ISU Theater has been hard at work putting together its first performance of the semester. This weekend, Chekhov's short stories will take center stage at the M Shop. Director Matt Foss says the script is an adaptation from 2 of Anton Chekhov's works.
And so we're using a very early story of Chekhov's called The Kiss, and a much later one called A Lady with a Lapdog. And then from those, we use a few selections from a number of different short stories that have similar patterns, similar plots, similar character archetypes, and even sometimes similar moments or events, even words.
It's late tonight.
The sea must have been rough with the wind and the heat today.
Jeff White is one of the actors in the show. He says the show's script is a little different than normal.
And so we started out with stories, just like 6 or 7 page long short stories, not in any sort of play format, not any sort of dramatic format, and then from there we kind of boiled it and devised from it a script.
Ethan Peterson, another actor in the show, says a lot of time and commitment has been put in from the start of the school year.
Well, the whole thing has been company generated and devised, and so it's like we've been working on this all school year. Literally the second week of school, I think, is when auditions were, and we got everybody together, and it's been this group the whole way.
White says he enjoys one thing the most about the show.
I like it. I love all the music. It's cool to, like, because I'm not like a big musical person, but it's really exciting to be in a play where there's music going on, you know what I mean? Like, it adds another level of, like, energy to it, I feel.
The production has been a team process the whole way.
Like you get camaraderie in a show normally, but this is something that we've all created together instead of just come in and started, like, churning our own stuff out. It's like we're all kind of directing, designing, and writing at the same time together, and so that's really, really interesting and really fun, and it's nothing like any of us have ever really done before.
For ISU TV with Julie Farrell, I'm Matt Van Winkle.
The show starts this Thursday in the M Shop of the Memorial Union and runs through Sunday. Tickets are $8 for students and $16 for the public. And that's all for tonight's edition of Newswatch 18.
Join us tomorrow night at 8 for more news, weather, and sports.